Russian President Vladimir Putin announced a temporary Easter truce in his conflict with Ukraine, a move met with caution in Kyiv as the war enters a critical stage and international mediation efforts stall. Putin declared that all combat operations would pause from 6 p.m. Moscow time on Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, until midnight on Monday, 5 p.m. Sunday ET. "We expect the Ukrainian side to mirror our actions," he said, adding that the pause would test Kyiv's sincerity about pursuing a peaceful resolution. But just hours later, Ukrainian authorities said Russian attacks had not stopped. According to the Commander-in-Chief's report, Russian assaults are ongoing in certain areas of the front, and artillery continues to fire, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said in a Saturday night statement. Kyiv responded to the ceasefire claim with doubt, with Zelensky highlighting that Putin has yet to accept an international proposal for a 30-day ceasefire. If Russia is suddenly ready to adopt a stance of total and unconditional quiet, Ukraine will respond in kind, as it would from the Russian side. Silence for silence, resistance for resistance, Zelensky added, calling for a 30-day extension of the Easter pause. This will reflect Russia's actual intentions, since 30 hours makes headlines but not trust. 30 days, however, might open a path to peace, he continued. The timing also drew attention. Coming a day after U.S. officials signaled growing impatience with both nations, and shortly after Russia's military claimed it had driven out Ukrainian forces from a contested area in the Kursk region, where Ukraine launched a surprise attack last year. We've seen a pattern where Putin's words don't match his deeds. Russia can agree at any time to the 30-day unconditional ceasefire that has been available since March, said Ukraine's Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha in a post on X. Later that evening, Putin was seen attending an Orthodox Easter service at Moscow's Cathedral of Christ the Savior, joined by the city's mayor Sergei Sobyanin and worshippers, as reported by Reuters. Putin held a red candle and made the sign of the cross as Patriarch Kirill led the service. Kirill, head of Russia's Orthodox Church, is a loyal ally of the Russian leader and vocal supporter of the war. Meanwhile, Zelensky used his own Easter address to encourage Ukrainians not to lose hope, saying, "Evil may rule briefly, but justice will prevail. Let that day come. Let evil's moment end. Let the day of renewal arrive. A day of peace. A day for Ukraine. A day that endures for ages. And may we reunite again, at one table. On a peaceful Easter," he said. By Sunday morning, Zelensky reported that Ukraine had documented numerous Russian strikes since the truce began. From 6 p.m. Saturday until midnight, there were 387 shelling incidents and 19 attacks, he said. Overall, on Easter morning, we can say that the Russian military is trying to create the illusion of a ceasefire while still carrying out isolated offensives and causing damage to Ukraine in some areas, Zelensky stated. Ukraine reported 59 instances of Russian shelling and 5 assaults across various front lines. Clashes also persisted in Russia's Kursk and Belgorod regions, where Ukrainian forces have been operating, Zelensky previously noted. Oleksandr Putin, head of Kherson's regional military administration, said Saturday evening that a high-rise building in the Dniprovsky district of Kherson caught fire following a drone strike. He added that Russian drones also hit the villages of Urozane and Stanislav. The attacks persist, and civilians are once again under threat, Putin said. This further proves that Russia respects nothing sacred. Soon after Putin's truce declaration, air raid alerts were triggered in Kyiv and several other regions. However, by Sunday, Ukraine's Air Force said no airborne threats or missile launches were recorded after around 10 p.m. Saturday. Andriy Kovalenko, head of Ukraine's Center for Countering Disinformation, posted on Telegram at 7 p.m. that the Russians continue to fire in all directions. Both Moscow and Kyiv are in the same time zone. Ukrainian soldiers stationed at 3 different points along the front line said by 8 p.m. Saturday there were no signs of any reduction in hostilities. There have been no significant pauses since Russia's large-scale, unprovoked invasion began in February 2022. Putin's sudden announcement and the short time frame of the declared truce left Kyiv with little chance to plan or adapt. Ukrainian forces already engaged in attacks or scouting operations would have already taken their positions, as such movements often occur at night due to the danger posed by Russian forces. Ukraine has often doubted these limited ceasefire offers, previously turning down a pause during the Orthodox Christmas in January 2023, suspecting that Moscow used a lull to reinforce its troops.